Well, hello. I want to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. So I've got quite the variety of pens this week. I think it's been a big change from last week, and I have two especially fun toys and another fun toy, so what the heck. Let's dive... Hey, there's another fun toy. So let's dive into this. So if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old, and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe below. If you'd like to discuss any of the pens you've seen here, please feel free to leave a comment down below. So let's take a look here. Alright, from left to right, I have a Rex EMI number 101. Come back to that one. It's from Croatia. I have, of course, my Lamy 2000, Kaweco Perkeo, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I was corrected once this week, and I can't remember. Pelikan Silvexa, a Wingsung 601, a Kaweco Liliput, I forgot what this one is. Oh, Tatung 717, and gotta look this one up too, I apologize, a Moonman Wancai Mini. Okay, now we know why I couldn't remember what it was called. So let's dive into it. Of course, I'm going to start with the Rex, because that one is interesting. Pen from the 1960s. A while back, I showed you a Oster Penkala pen. This is made kind of by the same group. This one was made in Croatia by the company, the TOZ, Zagreb, and anyway, made in the 1960s. I don't have all my research in front of me, I just have a couple of notes that happen to be down here. I know it's an EMI 101 because it says so right there. On the band here, we've got the Rex, and that is about it for branding. Nothing on the finials. If we take a gander at the nib, which is one of the charms of this pen, as you will see in just a moment, not a whole heck of a lot there. I am told that this, I'm sorry, I decided to look it up. I'm told that this nib design was also on some Senator and Reform pens, so anyway, long before it's going to be a while before I review this one. I need to do some more research on it, but I saw it, it really caught my eye, and when I write with it, you'll see another reason it caught my eye. I forgot to tell you because I was so eager to get into the pen. As always, Bomo Art Journal. So I'm still working on the exact correct name of this pen, so bear with me on that, but we'll go with this for now. TOZ Penkala Rex. And then there's an EMI. It was sold as an extra fine, so let's write extra fine. And the ink is Pelikan. .4001 Violet. And with hardly any pressure at all, that opens quite wide. This is a very flexible nib. I was very surprised. Goes from being a very nice, I don't know if I'd quite call it extra fine, but close enough, to definitely a broad, double broad, something like that. As always, the Lamy 2000. Although it may be headed for its summer hibernation soon, when I bring out other pens just to liven things up. This has been drinking a steady diet of Lamy Black all winter, and I've been very happy with Lamy Black. I just did a review on this one. This is the Kaweco Perkeo, my garbage can pen. I had an interesting suggestion. There's another color out there where the barrel is black, the grip section is black. to buy it and switch out the parts. The only difference really would be that this would be kind of a coral color and this would be a coral color. So an interesting idea I will think about. I would be left though with this with a pink cap, so I don't know if that's such a win. All right, so this is a Kaweco. It has a fine nib. My ink is Robert Oster Jade. A very nice shade of green. Now here's my second new toy. It's one of those slim black pens I like, just like that, whatever that first pen is called. Like I said, I'm still looking it up and learning. This is a Pelikan Silvexa. In fact, it's a Silvexa 21. Yeah, just looked up my notes on that too. So, anywho, slim black pen, piston filler. A little bit of branding there, although it's slightly deformed. This is a slim black pen of the 70s. I have another pen similar to it. I'm drawing a blank right now what it is. But so far I'm liking this one a lot better. This one has a, I believe it's a fine nib. Oh, extra fine. My ink is Monteverde. Turquoise. And that's from their original formulation. I haven't purchased any of the new Monteverde inks for who knows why. I watched a video Chris Rapp did recently where he showed the demonstrator of the Wingsung 601, which is what I'm holding here. And he had two different versions. He had one that's a draw filler and one that was a vacuumatic. I was going to review a Parker Vacuumatic and decided to hold off until I could get the vacuumatic version in a demonstrator because I thought that would be pretty awesome for displaying it. Well, this isn't vacuumatic. I ordered a vacuumatic, I got a draw filler. Now I like the draw filler better. I'll have to take it apart now to show you sometime. But it's push button, you just push a little piston down and when it comes up, it draws ink up of a breather tube and fills the barrel. So I'll give you a more concise explanation, or more coherent explanation when I get around to reviewing it. And I started with a P. I'm here floundering around like a drunk jellyfish because I can't remember what I had something really clever to explain it, and poof, it's gone as soon as I start recording this video. This is Krishna Winter Ink, which I really like this color. It doesn't look very wintry to me, but I like it. So that's a sample that a viewer sent me, and yeah, love. Kaweco Liliput is running low. This was a pen I took on the road with me, which I still need to film that video. I'm struggling with time right now. This whole end of the year thing is just a battle for free time. So this is a Kaweco Liliput with a fine nib, and the ink in it is Kaweco Black. I am told that there are converters that will fit it. I just don't happen to have one. My Tatung 717 is still filled, mostly because the ink is okay. The way it acts, it's just the color really does nothing for me. Sorry, Mr. Brown. oops, I guess you want to know the name of the pen first. I do like how the pen writes. Now, absolutely no flexibility to it, but darn if it just lays down a nice line. And the ink in it is SBRE brown. And you may have noticed over the course of my doing this channel, for however long I've been running these reviews, you don't see a lot of brown. That's just not a color I particularly care for. I bought this house and it was brown, and I quickly turned it Frosty Margarita, to the annoyance of some of the more conservative members of this community. All right, this is a Moonman Wancai. This is a Chinese brand. It's a pocket pen, obviously. I love the acrylic. In fact, I was very close once to ordering a custom Edison with a similar acrylic. I did not for reasons. But, so I guess I have the acrylic now. But wow, it's just so nice looking. Now, pocket pen, I don't think you would be comfortable right with it unposted. Little disappointed with all the ink in the cap, but that's a risk you run. It's an eyedropper pen, although I guess you can put a cartridge in it. Oops, Moon has two O's in it. Moonman Wancai. Mini, sorry, it's a mini. And a fine point nib. The ink, another one of those samples that viewer was very kind to send me. It's a Colorverse ink. So the pen is fitting comfortably in my hand. It's not bad to hold, but I'll be honest, I filled it up about a week ago, and I've hardly written with it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I had so many other pens come, but you know, I wrote a bunch of pens dry, just not that one. So we'll see where that takes me. So those are the pens that I've been writing with this week. A selection of about 8. I emptied a lot of pens out, and now the Platinum video is filmed, and we'll be adding to it every month. So it will take some time before that puppy gets done. So don't expect to see that one anytime soon. You will have forgotten I even filmed it by the time I get around to showing it. I guess in other news, school is about to end. I just counted. I have 15 school days. We won't count weekends. 15 school days left before the last day. Of course, I will have a bit to do after school ends, so I have more than 15 days. But let's say 15 student contact days. Normally, I'm rushing to get things done. I'm mostly where I want to be with all my classes. One of the classes I wish I could have like one more week, but overall, I will give you the short version. I don't want to get into all the details. We've had some legal trouble at my school district. Our superintendent has been suspended from his position for he's been charged with crimes. He has not been convicted, so we'll just leave it there. Not school-related crimes. They were well, anyway, I don't need to get into that either. But it has been a stressful time. We've had one board member resign from the board, and it was not pretty. We've actually had TV media down here filming school board meetings and such and trying to get interviews. And I said, no, when they asked me, because they pretty much just went around asking everybody they could find to do an interview. And most of us are smart enough to say no. But, you know, who needs that kind of stress? And, of course, people in town think you know more than you do. And people from out of town, a state like North Dakota, that's all the news. And, yeah, I'm just kind of glad to have this year end and hopefully start fresh next year. I'm pretty sure with a new superintendent, or at least looking for one, because, yeah, that's been a bit of an obstacle, too, trying to get around not having a superintendent. We now have a temporary fill-in superintendent. He's a retired gentleman who I accidentally met a few years ago when I was teaching in another school district, and he was still full-time employed. They had come to look at my school's, the one where I'd been teaching at that time, science room, because it had been recently renovated. Well, nobody told me he was coming. He just showed up when his team was playing my school at a basketball game. And I had stayed for the basketball game, so I just brought clothes to work, and I ducked into the storage room, because science rooms always have storage rooms to change. And thinking I'm all alone, I come walking out still, putting on my shirt, and oh, there's a man I don't know standing in my classroom. Like, well, this is awkward. So he doesn't seem to remember that, so I will be glad for small favors. So yeah, just that whole thing. You know, kids are kids. They're the same everywhere, so well, they're not really a stress. It's the adults really that make teaching difficult sometimes. So hopefully next year we have less of adults behaving badly. In other news, I saw this week, kind of sad news, Matt Armstrong, the pen habit, is no longer going to be filming reviews. Now, you may or may not know this, but I don't know him. I don't even know if he's ever heard of my channel. But he's had a little bit of impact on me. He is the reason I started upping my quality of my reviews. You know, Stephen Brown was the one who, like a lot of us reviewers, got us into reviewing in the first place. Matt Armstrong was the one who made me think, oh, you know, maybe I should do more than just film holding my iPad, filming my face with the iPad, and then holding the iPad up with one hand while I do the writing sample with the other. You know, he's the one that got me to use equipment I already had because I do photography. My Canon 5D Mark II, which is an older camera, but anyway. I started using that to film reviews. I started thinking about sound quality because of him. I bought a, not expensive, but like a shotgun mic thing that just mounted on the camera. Now I have over here a Blue Yeti. That idea actually came from David of Fig Boot on Pens, but you know, the whole up your quality thing originally came from Matt Armstrong. I like the fact that I have that camera and I have a camcorder here. And the camcorder has come in quite handy well outside the pen world. I'm enjoying having a camcorder. I actually use it I use it a bit at school. You know, when kids do presentations, now I can grade the presentation in the comfort of my home and be able to rewind and such, rather than watch kids and grade presentations all at the same time. So that has been very handy. But no, the idea came from Matt Armstrong. Just that whole upping my quality and then researching and a little bit of using what I knew about photography. So I thank him for that. I appreciate that the time has come for him to stop reviewing pens. And, you know, it will just, the reasons he gave, make sense to me. You know, he doesn't have the passion for it he once did. And I think for a hobby like this, if you don't have the passion for it, why continue to do it? He's left a good library of pen reviews. He has set a standard. He's set the bar much higher than it was for fountain pen reviews. I think all of us have upped our game just in response to the quality of his videos. I don't know if very many of us have that professional level that he does, but he has quite a good level. I've also appreciated some of the more human things he's done. The Q&A with Vanessa Pens, taking us on the road to a few pen shows. I thought those were interesting, especially to see some of the people behind all of this kind of thing. And some of the open forums and discussions he did with, well, for a while he was interviewing other reviewers. He did some discussions at that last pen show down in Arkansas. Just a very human approach where you're not just talking about pens, where you're talking about the people. And people are a big part of the hobby. Yes, I like my pens, but it's people, it's relationships that make us what we are. So I really appreciate that, and I wish him all the best in whatever it is he chooses to go into. And I hope if I ever get to that point where I'm losing my passion, whether it's for this or whether it's teaching or whatever else, I will have the maturity and strength to say, no, it's time to move on to something else. So I thank him for that. And again, I wish him well. Okay, I thought of this just as soon as I tore my set down after filming. But I'm going to add a little addendum here and just pinch it into the review, so sorry. But I thought, now that we all have a hole in our lives from Matt Armstrong, I would invite you to recommend other reviewers. Maybe you have somebody you would recommend to fill that spot that Matt Armstrong held in our weekly pen viewing. So please feel free to comment about that down below as well. So if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. If you'd like to talk about any of the pens or other topics raised today on this video, please feel free to comment down below. Love to hear from you. So as always, I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.